Hello everyone, what's happening? It's Richard Purnell here. How you all doing? Hope you're doing well. Me, I'm kind of terrified right now because I feel like I'm being freaking haunted by Batfleck. I'm not even kidding you. For example, okay, this is something that just happened to me. I was flipping through HBO on demand because I couldn't sleep last night. I was just seeing if there's going to be any movies to watch. And they had the original Buffy the Vampire Slayer movie. And so I figured I'd check it out. You know, not that I had much motivation to. It's just there's nothing really else on, so I thought I'd check it out. And I'm sitting there and I'm thinking this is kind of ridiculous. You know, Buffy's really hot and that's kind of the only thing about her in this movie. And then David Arquette shows up and Pee Wee Herman shows up and the bad guy from Blade Runner shows up. And then you know who else freaking showed up in this movie? Ben freaking Affleck for like 5 seconds. The world is torturing me, man. I might as well just accept it right now instead of waiting to see how he does in the movie, you know? The world's just basically saying, accept Batfleck, accept Batfleck. Guys, I might be a Batfleck fan a lot sooner now because I don't want to get haunted by this anymore. Anyways, so it is Friday. You know what that means? It is time once again for comics. Now on Facebook and Twitter again, I asked if you guys had any suggestions or questions or anything you wanted me to do in an episode of comics, and I got a few, and so I thought I'd do them right now. First things first, I'm sending out a big shout out to JALGhul on YouTube. Go check him out, subscribe to his YouTube channel. He's a pretty cool guy. The first question I got is very similar to a question I got in the last episode, and this comes from Ed on Facebook. Now that Batman is cast, who do you want as Robin, Alfred, Lieutenant Gordon, and a villain we never see before in a Batman movie? You know, honestly, I'd assume at this point he'd actually be Commissioner Gordon, but you know, that's beside the point. I just wanted to say that. But again, just like in the last episode, I haven't thought about it at all. I really have no thought process on any of the other characters at this point. But I think by the time they actually start doing solo Batman movies again, and I assume that's going to be after a Justice League movie, and hopefully directed by Ben Affleck. By the time they get that ball rolling, then maybe I'll probably have more thoughts on it. But right now, I'm just like, pfft. The next two questions come from @TMugo, hopefully I said that right, on Twitter, and they ask, do you prefer the Raimi trilogy or the Amazing Spider-Man, and out of the superhero films coming out next year, how would you rank them in terms of anticipation? Well, to answer your first question, I'd probably say The Amazing Spider-Man, though strangely enough, I am a massive Sam Raimi fan, but more for his original content, like the Evil Dead films or Darkman, the first one. And as far as anticipation goes, I saw that you put your list as, you know, X-Men First Class is released, and then Amazing Spider-Man, and then Captain America, and then your most was Guardians of the Galaxy. For me, if you swap X-Men and Captain America like that, and that's my list, essentially. So anyways, that is the end of suggestion question time. In the comment section below, leave some of your questions or suggestions or anything you want me to do in any previous episode, or leave them on Facebook or Twitter. Any page, it doesn't matter. So before I get to the topic I've planned for this video, I do feel I should address some of the big casting news that have been going around lately. First bit of casting news is Marvel's looking at Elizabeth Olsen to play the part of Scarlet Witch for Avengers Age of Ultron. Now, I don't know anything about Scarlet Witch, but I do back this idea 100% because I am a big Elizabeth Olsen fan. I think she's an incredible actress. I just watched her in this movie called like Martha, Marie, Marcy, blah. It was a movie that had a lot of M first names, but she was excellent in this movie. And she didn't have her clothes on the entire time. Hey! All craziness aside, she definitely is an amazing actress, and she's making a name for herself, and I can definitely see her rocking that role. Even if I don't know anything about the character, I just would love to see her in that movie because I think she'll do a great job. And the last bit of casting news I'll talk about is probably the biggest casting news that Marvel's had. James Spader has been cast as Ultron! You know, honestly, I don't really have much of an opinion on Spultron. You know, James Spader as Ultron. Spultron. Let's start this. Hashtag Spultron on Twitter. Do it! No, I don't have much of an opinion on Spultron, but Carter definitely does. He made a whole video about it on the Marvel Cinematic Universe page. Go check it out! So that's all the casting news I wanted to talk about. And, you know, honestly, all I wanted to really say was Spultron. I could have just said Spultron and been done with it, but I figured I should extend it out a little bit more. So for this week's episode of Comics, I'm going to be doing something that I haven't done in the last few episodes, and you know what that is? Review a comic book! And the comic I'm reviewing is none other than Trinity War, part 1 to 6. It's all crazy and it's there, it's right there, it's a giant fan. So at this point in the review is when I would give you some sort of setup for the story, but DC Comics did a much better job at doing that with a video that they made with some voiceover from Geoff Johns, so I'll put a link down below to that. By the way, spoiler alert, the video spoils the end of the story, but I think that was kind of a good idea, but that's just my thoughts on it, and I'll get to that in a little bit, but yeah, link down below. So, when it comes to these event stories, no matter who's writing it, no matter who's drawing it, doesn't matter, I'm always hesitant about it. But lately, DC's actually been doing pretty good with their events, at least the ones that I've read. And you know what? Thankfully, I am happy to say I am a Trinity War fan. I really dug this story. And you know what really helped me like this story as much as I did? The fact that Geoff Johns spoiled the crap out of it. Yes, Geoff Johns, before the event started and halfway through the event, he spoiled everything about it and what Trinity War's true intentions were and how it was going to end. And you know what? I'm actually really happy that he did that. Because I feel like if I had read this event crossover and I didn't know any of that until after I finished reading the whole thing, I probably wouldn't have liked it, because the truth of the matter is Trinity War isn't in fact the first major DC event that we all thought it was going to be. It's actually the battle before the war, and the real war is actually something called Forever Evil, which comes out next month. And before the event even started, in that little video that I linked down below, Geoff Johns just flat out said that the villains are gonna win, the bad guys are gonna lose, and I was happy that he did. I mean, I'm still kind of bummed that, you know, it seemed like DC been building up Trinity War as their first big crossover, and that wasn't the case at all. But I'm happy that they had said it before the event started, because for me that gave me time to kind of just cope with the fact that this is how the story was going to play out, and then just sit down and read the story and enjoy it, knowing what's going to happen. And that's exactly what happened. I was able to sit down and truthfully just enjoy the fun ride. First off, the absolute best thing about this storyline is the artists that have tackled it are amazing. I mean, you got Ivan Reyes doing the bookends, and you got Doug Mank and Mikkel Janin doing the meat of the story, and they are all rocking it. My personal favorite might be Ivan Reyes, and story-wise, I think the Geoffs had a lot of fun with this, because, I mean, you have all these totally different characters from all these different corners of the DC universe interacting with each other for the first time, at least within the context of this universe, you know, the New 52. And it was just a lot of freaking fun just to see Wonder Woman and Constantine interact, and see, like, just seeing all the characters talk to each other and fight. And I especially dug the twists in the last issue, Justice League 23. Like, there were some pretty crazy twists in it. And at the end of the day, it definitely got me excited for Forever Evil. I mean, I definitely love this series. Yeah, it's kind of a bummer that it's not the big event that we all thought it was going to be, but it was a lot of fun to read. So that is about it for me. In the comment section below, what is your favorite comic event story? Like, which one is your favorite? I don't care from what company. What's your favorite? What's the best one in your thoughts? Tell me, I want to know. And as usual, don't forget to like this video, follow me on Facebook, Twitter, directorscutradio.com, and follow Carter on the Marvel Cinematic Universe page. Links are all down below. Subscribe to this YouTube channel if you like what you see, and favorite the video because I like it when you do that. And I'll see you guys on Tuesday with a brand new episode of Comics. Later!